Hope lives. Always. Even when we don't know how long, we have to wait for the realization of what is hoped for. When I began making these videos every day, I believed that doing this would only be for a short time. A week, maybe two at the most. And yet now, as more states, and even my own, have moved the end date for social distancing measures and extended the length of time that stay-at-home orders are active, it's becoming obvious that the timeline that I first envisioned is going to stretch much farther. I'm becoming more aware each day, as I'm sure you are, that the end date for all that we're doing to protect ourselves and others is utterly indefinite. And it is this realization that's led me to turn to God and ask again and again, how long? Making my voice in prayer sound eerily similar to a bored child on a road trip, calling out, "Are we there yet?" from the back seat every 5 minutes. It is helpful to me and a source of hope for me to realize that I am not the only person to ask this question of God. I want to read for you Psalm 13. It's attributed to King David and was certainly written during a time when he felt as we do now, stuck in the back seat, watching the mile markers and wondering when the trip will end. How long, O Lord, will you forget me forever? How long will you hide your face from me? How long must I wrestle with my thoughts and day after day have sorrow in my heart? How long will my enemy triumph over me? Look on me and answer, Lord my God. Give light to my eyes, or I will sleep in death. And my enemy will say, I have overcome him, and my foes will rejoice when I fall. But I trust in your unfailing love. My heart rejoices in your salvation. I will sing the Lord's praise, for he has been good to me. King David had faith. He knew God. He had seen God's power in his life personally and literally. And still, even then, he asks God, how long? This reality is certainly enough to make me feel like I'm not alone in asking this of God in prayer myself. But as I read this now, I can't help but notice how David ends that song. That even from a place of uncertainty, where he questions his maker how long his current struggles will have to last, David announces his trust in God's unfailing love. He rejoices in God's salvation, and he sings praises to God for how good God has been to him. David does not know how long his suffering will last, but he finds hope in remembering how good God has been to him in the past. If you found yourself asking God, how long, just as I have, may we find hope in doing what David did, by remembering all of the wonderful things that God has done for us. For me, that's my wife and my children and my church and my family. It's the experiences that have brought me immeasurable joy, like being able to baptize other people. As we seek hope during this unknown period of time, may we find it in the blessings that God has already provided to us. May we know that even though we don't know how long we have to endure this, that hope lives always.